and then he drives the car for 9 months, and then like just fights for his life after that. That's this entire period for the last 15 years is him trying to stay alive. So the car gets saved, the house gets saved, everything around him is burnt literally to foundation.
This is the story of the will to win. We have an updated name on Michael Jordan's 512 TR. The greatest basketball player of all time, the famous black car, very high mileage car today. It was modified at one point. But that photo of Michael Jordan getting out of that car, it's incredible. I found the VIN, I know where the car is.
Superstar. I'll tell you.
This may be the greatest story that we've ever told. I call myself an automotive storyteller, and today I'm gonna have to use notes because this story is too important. And again, this may be the most insane history of a car that we've ever chased, that we ever had the opportunity to buy. You know, when we talk about Michael Jordan and you think about Michael Jordan today, the cultural impact of Michael Jordan, millions that have still been touched by him, that are still inspired by his story. My kids today, at 3 and 5 years old, know who Michael Jordan is. And I believe the reason that the world is inspired today by Michael Jordan is his magic. The magic of Michael Jordan is his will to win. This story takes so many different turns, but we're gonna have to go back in time and start at February 1992. Michael Jordan, at this point, was probably at the height of his career. Many sports experts say that the 1992-1993 Chicago's Bulls team was maybe the greatest NBA team of all time. This is coming after many years of actually not winning championships. I was a 7, 8-year-old boy, and this here is my exact Jordan jersey. I've kept it ever since. And this was the peak, in many ways, of Michael Jordan's career. He was going on to potentially win 3 championships in a row, and he buys this black Ferrari 512 TR. Now, here's a ticket. This is so cool to me. This is from the 1992 NBA playoff game with Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks. I believe it was game 5. It was sometime in May. And this photo has become so iconic of Michael Jordan getting out of this black 512 TR. I think it says M Air J on the license plate, and it's outside the arena. And then later on, his personal photographer would photograph him at his home. And he owned this black Ferrari 512 TR until 1995. And I believe it was October of 1995 where he then sold the car. Now, I have, for probably 10 or 12 years, been looking for this car. And about 8 years ago, I built an incredible relationship with a good client of ours. And we always joked that we would find this car, we would discover this car and buy it together. Upon researching this car, listen, this car went dark. It had not been seen publicly. It had not been registered since 2010. And in 2010, it was sold famously at an auction. I believe it sold for like $100,000 or $80,000, so not much at the time. But the car had disappeared. I had chased every direction possible. And during this time, I learned that the car didn't just have one incredible first owner, but its second owner was just as important, and just as the story is just as great. So if you guys have seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness, it was inspired by Chris Gardner and the life story of Chris Gardner. And Chris Gardner is this incredible figure that was, homeless with his son. And if you haven't seen the movie, you have to see the movie. But at one point, Chris Gardner stumbles upon a red Ferrari and asks the guy what he does for a living. And this is a true story. I believe it was a 308, and he sees this red Ferrari, and the guy says he's a stockbroker. So that moment with that Ferrari inspired Chris Gardner to change his life and make something of himself, go into the financial world. And again, this story of the will to win, this sort of manifestation nature and believing that anything is possible, never ever giving up. And Chris Gardner ends up in 1995, purchases this black Ferrari 512 TR from Michael Jordan. once he becomes successful, and famously drove this car for many, many years around Chicago. The cute part of the story is there's a great photo Chris posted of him with a license plate that said not MJ. Fast forward 2010, the car disappears. So if you guys remember and you're fans of the channel, you know that a few years ago, and I don't know the exact date, Sergio will throw some B-roll, we thought that we had found remnants of the car. In our search, I heard a rumor, and we knew the VIN number, we knew the chassis number. In our search, we heard a rumor that the car was with a parts dismantler, and the parts were being sold online. Now, the guys that, it was actually Fur Parts, important brand in the Ferrari world, said they had made a mistake. Somebody had made a mistake. It was not that car. So went down a rabbit hole. It did not work out. And I was actually probably very grateful and happy for that, because that would have been a complete disaster buying what was left of the car. Fast forward, Gabe from our team has a potential lead. And we start talking to this gentleman who's very, I would say, obscure, does not want to send us too many pictures, sends us some teaser photos of what he believes or says is the Michael Jordan 512 TR. And I mean, the excitement over a period of 8 months was incredible. About a month ago, we finally came to a deal. We had a purchase agreement in place. And I'll never forget this. We're sitting at our sales meeting, and I said, oh, you just got a copy of the title? Send me a copy of the title, let me look at it. And I look at it, and obviously we've been chasing this car for 10 years. I realized right away the VIN was wrong. And it was like getting punched in the stomach. That day I was incredibly just emotional and depressed. I was almost shocked. Like, how did we just chase this car for 8 months to a year? The owner was not giving us all the information. He promised us this was this car. And I was really let down and hurt. At that moment, not to sound too cliche, but the story of the Chicago Bulls, the story of Michael Jordan, the story of like a team coming together. If you've ever seen The Last Dance, you understand the history of the Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls is about relying on your team members. Herschel from our team says, I'm gonna find this car. I'm gonna help you find this car. And I think, without getting emotional on you guys, I think, that is the beauty of the relationship we have. The passion of Curated was, it's not about the money, it's about the hunt. It's about delivering a dream, and it's about making a dream happen. A dream for myself, a dream for a friend, a dream for the brand. And Herschel made one phone call that led to another phone call, and he's digging with resources and contacts, and we're all just, and he gets a last name. And we immediately start Googling this last name, and a bunch of phone numbers come up, and we just start calling them. I'm like, here, try this one. Here, try this one. Here, try this one. Most of the phone numbers are dead. The landline is dead. We're not getting anywhere. And on the last number, it actually rings. And no one picks up. He leaves a message. He sends a text message. And within 20, 30 minutes, he gets a phone call back. And the phone call back is from a sweet lady. She informs him that her husband, actually, they do have the car. She purchased the car. And we were honest. We told her the story, and we were said, listen, we feel like we were either getting scammed or, maybe someone was misled, and we're in this situation. And man, what an incredible opportunity!
No. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, we haven't thought about selling. We just parked away. It's in the same exact condition it was in. She's like, okay, well, let me speak to him, and we'll give you a call back. I'll let you know. I'm like, not too early. I said, I'll fly out there. We'll fly out there. Yeah.
Bro, we're getting this.
What do you think?
Within a few days, Herschel was on the plane with Sergio to California. As you guys know, obviously this video is about the car. We ended up purchasing the car. And I think this next part of the story is just so special because it wasn't just the will to win of the first owner or the second owner, but the third owner's story. I don't think I've heard of a car with such a great story, so much will, faith, hope in one story with these 3 consecutive owners. So I can't wait to share this car with you guys. It's the first time the car has been seen in probably 15 years publicly.
Good morning and welcome to Los Angeles International Airport.
Just landed in LA picking up the rental car. I'm gonna see what Herschel has in store for us. I have no idea.
Neither do I. I have no idea what we're doing. Just about 20 minutes away. Flatbed's there.
Cool.
Yeah, looks like everything's rolling up the way it should. Yep.
Insane. And remember, no photos until next week.
Listen, even shit I should post, I forget to post. So you don't have to worry about me. Oh, wow.
Sad to see.
You know, I've kept it under lock and key
For 15 years.
15 years. When I first got them, before I came down with cancer, I would take the cars out. My wife would do it by around 12 midnight every night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd give them a run. You gotta understand what we've been through up here. We've been through
I drove, I could not believe it. What's wild is you'll have 2 houses perfect, not even like smoke damage, and then 3 houses completely burnt to the ground.
when I made that turn and saw that the cars were here. Put that most.
Yeah.
And then my house was here.
Yeah. We don't have a ton of expectations on condition. We kind of know what we're getting into. This is being a fun project. To bring this back to life, that's part of the fun for us. This car needs some love, and to give it the love and to bring it back to its former glory.
About. I'll be quite honest.
Why are you embarrassed? No, it's
you know
sad.
what? I was fighting for my life.
You're standing here, exactly. Don't be embarrassed. You're an inspiration. Yeah.
If you just, when you get it done, I might want to drive around the block.
I promise you. I promise you. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be probably 7 to 8 months to a year to get the car back from Italy.
So in that little gray area before the client takes it and you get rid of it.
I would love. I promise
would
you.
love to just come on.
I promise you. Every couple of months, I'll send you a progress on this car. The Jordan thing is great, but your story is really the important thing. Yeah.
You think that story's so great.
It's amazing,
but that's
you know.
just me.
Yeah, but you're standing here,
Yeah.
15 years later.
Yeah,
That's the story. We're gonna finish it, and when we're done, you're gonna drive it.
I would love to see that.
Done. You have my word. He buys the car, brings it home, enjoys it for about 9 months, and then is told that he has a very rare bone cancer, and they give him like just a few years to live. And that's in 2010. This is a passionate guy. He's battled for his life now for the last 15 years. He's a little bit older. He feels like it's a young man's game to get the car restored and back to running. You know, to me, that's the story. To me, that's the inspiration. Is you have a guy that's passionate, that this car survived along with him, fires and the sicknesses that he had, and now he's kind of passing it on to another buyer who's been looking for the car for years.
What's going on, dude?
Holy shit, dude.
What?
That was great. Bro, these were 2 of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life. He drives the car for 9 months and then just fights for his life after that. That's this entire period for the last 15 years is him trying to stay alive. He's just like this positive, happy, warm guy. He's got this huge house, right? An older home, but really nice house. And every neighbor around him is burnt to the ground. And he's got a ton of vegetation. So like his house is like this miracle dome, like it gets protected. And the car was sitting outside for the fires, and the car's fine. So the car gets saved, the house gets saved, everything around him is burnt literally to foundation.
What a story, dude.
Incredible story. Yeah. We got and like let's hold each other accountable. I want to make sure this guy's getting pictures and everything. But that was more important to him than anything, John. And it was sincere. Really loved the ball, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
This story is just beginning. You know, the car has been, it's survived this incredible, natural disaster. It survived the last 15 years. And now I think it's our responsibility to send it back to Italy, send it back to its birthplace, and restore the car back to the way it was brand new. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to share this car with the world, share the process with everyone, and I'm truly honored to invite you guys on this journey. And this story gets super exciting because we're now in the process of reaching out to former teammates. We're definitely going to reach out to Chris Gardner. We even have a call into Michael Jordan's family, and we are reaching out to as well the famous photographer who we recently discovered actually lives near here, but he was Michael Jordan's personal photographer for many years. So stay tuned. We have a ton more content coming, and thank you guys so much for sharing your passion with us and allowing us to share our love with you guys.